A man once held as a prisoner of war later built one of the most iconic luxury sports car brands in history. That man is Ferruccio Lamborghini, the founder of Lamborghini, who turned his hardships into a global empire. Chapter 1. Early life. Ferruccio Lamborghini was born in 1916 in Renazzo, a small rural town in northern Italy. Raised on his family's grape farm, Ferruccio was expected to follow in his parents' footsteps and eventually take over the family business. His parents produced wine and their lifestyle was humble, yet filled with hard work and dedication to their craft. However, young Ferruccio had other interests. From an early age, he was more intrigued by machinery and engines than farming. While his parents were busy with the vineyards, Ferruccio spent his time tinkering with the farm's tractors and other equipment. His fascination with mechanics only grew as he got older, and it became clear that Ferruccio wasn't destined to be a farmer. Instead, he had a passion for understanding how machines worked and fixing them. Recognizing that his true interest lay in mechanics, Ferruccio decided to pursue a more technical education. He enrolled at the Fratelli Taddea Technical Institute, where he focused on mechanics and engineering. His father, however, was not pleased with this decision. Like many parents of that era, Ferruccio's father believed that straying from the family business was risky and unwise. Despite his father's disapproval, Ferruccio thrived in his studies and honed his mechanical skills. After graduating, he began working with a master blacksmith, learning the secrets of ironworking and welding. His talent and determination quickly set him apart, and Ferruccio began seeking more ambitious opportunities. At this time, Ferruccio had his eyes set on Cavaliere Righi in Bologna, a factory known for maintaining the Italian army's vehicles. After much persistence, Ferruccio convinced the factory's owner to give him a job. This position gave him invaluable experience working on military machinery and refining his mechanical expertise. In the years that followed, Ferruccio's passion for mechanics only intensified. However, the trajectory of his life would soon take an unexpected turn as the world was plunged into the chaos of World War II. Chapter 2. World War II and Prisoner of War. When World War II broke out, Ferruccio's life was disrupted just like millions of others. Drafted by the Royal Italian Air Force, he was assigned as a mechanic at the garrison on Rhodes Island in Greece. His task was to maintain military vehicles, a role that perfectly aligned with his skills. Ferruccio's technical expertise became indispensable to the Italian army, and he quickly proved himself a valuable asset. In 1943, Italy surrendered, marking a significant shift in the war. German forces took control of the Italian garrison, forcing the Italians out. Despite the situation, Ferruccio remained resourceful and managed to convince the Germans to let him open his own mechanical workshop on the island. For a brief time, he worked independently, repairing vehicles for both the Italian and German forces. However, Ferruccio's freedom didn't last long. In 1945, the Allied forces arrived on Rhodes Island and captured the garrison. Ferruccio, along with many others, was taken as a prisoner of war. His mechanical skills, however, didn't go unnoticed. Instead of laboring under harsh conditions, Ferruccio was put to work repairing Allied vehicles. Ferruccio spent nearly a year in captivity before being released and allowed to return to Italy. Despite the hardships of war and imprisonment, Ferruccio's passion for mechanics had only grown stronger. It was now time for him to put his skills to use back home. Chapter 3. The Start of Lamborghini Tractors. After returning to Italy, Ferruccio faced new challenges. The country was war-torn, and life was far from easy. Tragically, his wife Clelia had passed away during childbirth, leaving Ferruccio to raise their son, Tonino, on his own. Devastated by the loss, Ferruccio threw himself into his work to cope with the grief. At this time, Ferruccio primarily focused on repairing vehicles, tractors, and lorries in his small workshop. But it was a request from his father that would change everything. Ferruccio's father asked him to build a new tractor for the family farm, and in that moment, Ferruccio had a realization. Italy desperately needed better farming equipment to rebuild its agricultural sector after the war. Ferruccio took advantage of his experience working with military machinery and began converting leftover military equipment into tractors. His first tractors were built using old Morris engines, which he modified to run on affordable diesel instead of expensive petrol. These innovative tractors were not only cost-effective, but also durable and efficient. In 1948, Ferruccio officially launched Lamborghini tractors, and his business quickly took off. His tractors became known for their reliability, and farmers across Italy sought them out. In just a few years, Lamborghini tractors became one of the largest manufacturers of its kind in Italy. Ferruccio's success in the tractor industry made him a millionaire, giving him the resources to pursue new ventures and one passion in particular: fast cars. Chapter 4: The Ferrari Feud. Ferruccio was not only a successful businessman, but also a lover of luxury cars. As his wealth grew, so did his collection of high-end vehicles, which included Jaguars, Maseratis, and Ferraris. However, despite his admiration for Ferraris, Ferruccio was disappointed with his Ferrari 250 GT. The car had mechanical issues, particularly with the clutch, which needed frequent repairs. One day, Ferruccio took his Ferrari to his mechanic and discovered that the faulty clutch in his car was identical to one used in his tractors, a part that cost far less. Outraged by this discovery, Ferruccio decided to confront Enzo Ferrari himself and suggest improvements to Ferrari's cars, particularly regarding the clutch and road performance. Enzo, however, didn't take kindly to criticism. When Ferruccio presented his concerns, Enzo famously brushed him off, saying, "You're a tractor driver, a farmer. You shouldn't complain about my cars. They're the best in the world." This insult ignited a fire in Ferruccio. Determined to prove that he could build a better sports car, he responded, "Yes, I'm a farmer, but I'll show you how a sports car should be." With that, Ferruccio decided to launch his own luxury sports car company to rival Ferrari. The birth of Automobili Lamborghini Ferruccio wasted no time. In 1963, he founded Automobili Lamborghini and built a state-of-the-art factory in Sant'Agata Bolognese, Italy. To ensure his cars would be the best, Ferruccio hired top engineers, including some who had previously worked for Ferrari. His goal was simple: to create high-performance, luxurious sports cars that were more refined and reliable than Ferraris. Just 9 months after founding the company, Ferruccio unveiled his first car, the Lamborghini 350 GT, at the 1964 Turin Motor Show. The 350 GT was a marvel of engineering, featuring a V12 engine, a 5-speed transmission, and 4-wheel independent suspension. It was a technical masterpiece that impressed both customers and critics alike. The car was smooth, elegant, and easy to drive, everything Ferruccio had set out to achieve. The success of the 350 GT proved that Ferruccio wasn't just a tractor driver, he was a visionary. Lamborghini had officially entered the world of luxury sports cars, and the rivalry with Ferrari had begun. Chapter 5: The Rise of Lamborghini. Following the success of the 350 GT, Ferruccio's company flourished. His engineers were given the freedom to experiment and innovate, leading to the creation of several iconic models. One of the most groundbreaking cars developed during this time was the Miura P400, which was introduced in 1966. The Miura was revolutionary in the automotive world. It was the first production car to feature a rear mid-engine layout, a design that would become the standard for all high-performance sports cars. The Miura was not only a technical achievement, but also a work of art, with its sleek and aggressive design turning heads wherever it went. Interestingly, the Miura was developed in secret by Lamborghini's engineers, because Ferruccio was initially against the idea of building race cars. Years earlier, Ferruccio had participated in a prestigious race and crashed, which soured him on racing altogether. However, once Ferruccio saw the potential of the Miura, he decided to move forward with the project. The Miura became an instant sensation and is now considered the world's first supercar. It solidified Lamborghini's reputation as a leader in innovation and luxury, and it set the stage for future models like the Espada, Islero, Jarama, and the legendary Countach. The Countach in particular became one of the most iconic sports cars of all time. Its futuristic design and unmatched performance made it a symbol of wealth, power, and status. The Countach was a game changer for Lamborghini, and it became one of the most written about cars in automotive history. Challenges and Ferruccio's retirement. Despite his success, Ferruccio faced significant challenges in the 1970s. A major blow came when a massive order of 5,000 tractors from Bolivia was canceled after the country experienced a political coup. This financial setback forced Ferruccio to sell Lamborghini tractors to cover his losses. Around the same time, the global stock market crashed, and the OPEC oil embargo caused fuel prices to skyrocket. The demand for luxury sports cars plummeted, and Lamborghini's sales suffered. In 1974, Ferruccio made the difficult decision to sell 51% of his shares in Automobili Lamborghini. Shortly after, he sold the remaining shares and retired from the automotive industry. Though Ferruccio stepped away from the company, his legacy lived on. Lamborghini continued to produce innovative and high-performance cars, but the company faced financial difficulties in the following years. After changing hands multiple times, Lamborghini was eventually acquired by Audi in 1998. Under Audi's leadership, Lamborghini experienced a resurgence, with the introduction of models like the Gallardo, Huracan, and Urus SUV. Today, Lamborghini is a global symbol of luxury and performance, valued at over $11 billion. Ferruccio's vision and determination created a brand that continues to thrive more than half a century after its inception. And that's the story of how Lamborghini went from building tractors to creating world-renowned supercars. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the link for more incredible stories.